What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and this one I want to talk about what's going on with the overall market and break down something very important. I uploaded a video just a couple of minutes ago, but there was something I forgot to mention that was super important, so I need to re-upload this. Right now, the market is making an attempt to balance, but like I said before, you want to be very careful because in this market, it's been all over the place over the last couple of days, and we're still stuck in these ranges. So we're going to be watching to see how resistance ends up stopping the market and whether or not we could hold particular supports by market close. But before I break it into about all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I'm firstly not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo, the link down below, and deposit $100 into the account, you're guaranteed up to 5 free stocks. Now, this offer ends in just about 10 days, so check it out before they run out. Anyways, let's break down what's going on with the market. So, I just wanted to remind everyone that right now, okay, all of the data has finally passed. We have all the Fed speakers done speaking, and they just repeated the same things over and over again about the markets, about how inflation is coming down. But at the same time, there's work to be done as that the unemployment numbers are just not what they want to see. So some Fed speakers were still saying that. Other ones are saying that they're still open to just pausing from here and just waiting it out. But overall, very mixed views. But most of what they said was very similar to what we've seen in the past. Now, I forgot to remind you all about non-farm payrolls and the unemployment data. This data is going to be coming out 1 hour before the market opens on Friday. So we have this unemployment data. This could cause some volatility or the market to gap up or down depending on the numbers. So we'll have to wait and see what they cause. Now, this is going to be very important. We want the unemployment numbers to be a little hot. We want unemployment to be 3.8% or higher. If it's lower than that, it's not going to be good for the markets. So if you want to hold overnight through this, it is your choice. If you're uncomfortable, it's up to you. I just wanted to call this out. On top of this, we have more Fed speakers tomorrow and just a couple of other things, nothing too crazy that's going on. So now let's break down what's happened to the market. How are things looking? Right now, the market got this big rejection off this resistance area, and we failed to hold 425. We came right back down, but then we got a bounce off 421. Now we're just trying to hold above this resistance, but as of right now, we're kind of rejecting and struggling to break above and hold 424. So we're going to be watching that very carefully. If we reject off of this, watch 422 as key support. If we break below this and close inside of this area, that's going to be a bearish signal. So watch and see where we end up closing. If we close inside of the channel, that's going to be bearish. If we manage to close above it, that could still be like a little bit more bullish, but kind of in the middle. But don't forget that the unemployment data could still affect how we open tomorrow anyways. Now, if we break below 422 and we break the low of the day, there is a risk of 420 that could happen. But as of right now, we're still trying to hold above our resistance and we're seeing buyers defending at 422. So the market's trying to hold up, but there is always that risk of 420 if we break below 422. So far, it hasn't happened, and the market's trying to fight 424 right now. Now, if we do end up breaking it, you're going to be watching this resistance up here around 425. That's going to be the next level. That's going to be very important. There's not a whole lot of resistance until we get to 425 if we hold above 424. However, I just want to warn everyone that with all this data coming out tomorrow, you never know what's going to happen by the time we open in the morning. Now, looking at SPY, what's helping this thing kind of like balance is not only do we have a potential, if you want to interpret this as an inverse head and shoulders or even a cup and handle, looking quite nice for now, but we're kind of struggling at this resistance. We're going to be fighting for this 424 resistance. What helped it was Aapl. Aapl got some big news. Apple's trying to break out right now, so that's trying to help Aapl. If you look at Aapl managed to get above this 174 area, which is a good sign. I'm not worried about it filling its gap or not, but Aapl looks like it could turn bullish. Now we got a double bottom. We managed to break this resistance just now. So that's a good sign for Aapl. If Aapl does break above this and we fill this gap up here, that could be bullish for the markets. We're approaching gap resistance at 175. If we break it and we keep breaking out, that's going to be bullish for the markets. That is a real possibility, so watch this very carefully. As long as we close above 174, it's going to be a good sign for the bulls. That could help the market for tomorrow, so watch that level very carefully. As Aapl is attempting to break out, okay, as it's trying to break out, we're going to be watching this level right here. The QQQ is trying to break. This is like around 358.5. If you break this, 359 could come. I could see this get very close to 360 if Aapl does continue to break out. We got this drop towards this 360, 356 area. And if anything, we've bounced off of it. So now the QQQ is holding up quite nicely. And I want to see if this thing can hold 358 or close above that. That's going to be a good sign for the cup and handle. It still is looking like it has merit. So there is a potential upside trend that could be developing towards 360 right now. So we're starting to see signs of the market basing. Market is looking a little bit better than before. So watch all these levels very carefully. Nvidia is holding up quite nicely as well. Nvidia is trying to hold up 444. Watch 444 as support, 442, and then 440, followed by 437. Resistance, we're basically testing 446.5. We also have some resistance around this 449 area, followed by 453. Nvidia is uptrending, so we're going to be watching to see if we can get above 446.5. If we do so, 448 is on the table. It is uptrending thanks to the market and the breakout on Aapl. But be warned that if this does come back down, you're going to be watching 444 and then 442 as supports. The trend on Nvidia is still quite strong. We were talking about this earlier. So it's still looking quite good and it looks like it's outperforming the market. Last but not least, for Tesla stock, it's looking very nice because it managed to hold these supports very, very nicely, right? We were talking about Tesla trying to hold at least 255. As long as it held that, we'd be in a good place. We have a nice accumulation right here, a nice amount of buyers stepping in. And we saw some very big orders today. We saw over 2,000 big orders on Tesla. We're seeing more and more buyers stepping in, and they're continuing to push for that $300 price target for the next month and a half. That's some good news for Tesla. And if you look at Tesla, we're now above 260. We're holding up very nicely. This looks bullish to me. It looks like this thing is going to eventually try to break out, but we have to be watching to see if it could hold 260 and close right there. Now, if we hold 260, don't forget 260 could be support or resistance depending on where we are. Below 260, we have 258, 257.5, and then 256, all as supports. For resistance, you're going to be watching 260, then 262, and 265 above that. Tesla's holding up quite decently, so watch that very carefully. But I just wanted to add that on SPY, we have a nice, accumulation. It's trying to hold 424. It's looking a little bit better thanks to Aapl. So all I really care about is, can we close at these higher levels? Can we see the market hold up? If it manages to achieve that, that's going to be a good sign for tomorrow that the market is trying to rebound a bit, and this could continue as we approach Friday. So we're going to be watching this very carefully. Tesla especially looks a bit more bullish now. I like the trend it's on. So with that said, I just want to thank everyone for listening. All right. So just as a reminder, yes, the market could pump. Yes, the market could try to hold up, but don't forget about our support levels, and also don't forget about the fact that we have some big data coming out for tomorrow. We have very important unemployment numbers that could change how the market opens. So just be prepared for that and do what you have to do, guys. Thank you for listening and have a good one. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you and peace out.